Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 339. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. It's Sunday. I'm actually recording on the right day.
Yes!
March the 5th, 2017.
Yesterday was Leslie's son's birthday.
Yep. I believe the last time he was on the show was on his 10th birthday.
Aww.
He's too cool for us now. So.
He is. He's very too cool for us.
Not too cool to enjoy a cat shirt or or the like, but anyway.
He's a 14-year-old now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. In 2 years he can drive us around places.
I know. It's going to be amazing. Be like, hey, go get me some ice cream. Who's paying for your insurance? I am. Go get me some ice cream. Anyway. This is a knitting show, usually.
Sometimes.
So, would you like to go first?
Sure. Because I'm just going round and round and round and round and round. I am knitting on Radiate. I'm almost done with the yoke, y'all.
Almost.
Like 3 more rows. So, and it's getting quite big. So this is Radiate. It's a Hohi Locatelli pattern. It looks like in real life. Oh, look, you've got your thing right here.
It hasn't moved since you dumped it.
Leslie printed 2 copies. I only needed 1. So the other one got dumped on her floor. Anyway, that's what it looks like. I think there's a better picture. I have something to show you later that your husband included in this.
Oh, goody.
Anyway.
Okay, we have to share that. If you have
No, we don't. That's not kid appropriate at all. Needless to say, Michael printed something not child appropriate.
a cartoony lewd image, just to see if we were paying attention. He does that sometimes.
We weren't paying attention.
Nope.
Because that's been down there for like 2 weeks
Yep.
now. Anyway. To refocus. I'm knitting Radiate by Hohi Locatelli. The top of the yoke, that colored yarn, is hand spun. And the gray is Jacob from Ross Farm. So Ross Farm is a farm in Pennsylvania, in 84 PA, which is where 84 Lumber is from. And they do a variety of breed-specific yarns and fibers. I'm actually spinning some of their Hog Island right now as well. This yarn is all from Alice. She's a Jacob. Does she have horns? Yeah, she's got horns. So Jacobs are like the original lawn ornament. They were bred specifically, so sheep have specific reasons why they're bred, whether it's for fiber or for meat, or just to look really cool on a British estate. So they can have a bunch of horns and they're spotted. Because super cool. Why not? This has been a really fun pattern so far. I think this is a great way to use up hand spun if you have like a fleece and then like a 4-ounce braid of something really cool. This would be a great way to use that up. Like I said earlier, I'm almost done with the yoke, and then I have a couple short rows, like 15 rows of short rows, and then I'm going to divide for the sleeves, and then I have 5 days to knit the entire body.
Because she's competing with herself. Only with herself.
No, I want to wear it at Portland, and then 1 day for each sleeve, and then it's going to get a bath, and I'll have a day for it to dry.
You could, if you're running short on time, just do a temporary bind off on the sleeves and wear a long sleeve shirt under it.
I could. That's true. Or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Really enjoying the pattern. I'm using the Likey needles, which are wooden needles that are working really, really well. They're an interchangeable set that I bought from House of Yarn in December. They're like a laminate driftwood, birch. So those are working well. The cool thing about this pattern is it's a slip stitch pattern on the yoke, and so if you mess up, like I've done multiple times, where I've knit the wrong color, then I just drop it behind on the next row and
Shortcuts
fix it.
For the win.
Yep. So it's a pattern that if you do make mistakes, it's easy to fix without ripping out. I'm excited. So I've just started my second skein. And this is the skein that the first skein was the skein that I swatched from. So I do have a quite large swatch that I could pull out if I need to. I have 3 total skeins for the body, and then 3 total skeins for the sleeves. So I think I have plenty of yarn to get this done. I'm enjoying it, and it lives in my Charmin Bear fat. He does look like the Charmin Bear fat squirrel bag. So it's a sweater size bag. It's perfect size. That is the first thing that I am working on, and I'm really enjoying it. It's easy. I've been watching a lot of Midsummer Murder mysteries. One row is taking me 20 minutes, which I was telling Leslie I've done around 30 rows this weekend, so I've invested a good bit of time in it, this weekend especially. But once I separate for the sleeves, my stitch count decreases by like 120 stitches. So
Plus, and it'll be plain stockinette.
And it'll be plain stockinette, so it's going to speed up exponentially, I'm thinking. The other thing that I have on my needles, it's so wee, is a pair of toe-up socks that I'm knitting out of the Desert Vista Dye Works in the Flintstones colorway. Such a messy skein. Messy ball. That's all me.
Messy balls.
I always make messy balls. It is what it is. I'll end up rewinding it at one point. I was knitting on these at Kobe's birthday party, his sushi dinner, and realized I had 27 stitches on one side and 32 on the other, and so I just kept increasing on one side and not the other. So it's got a little bit of a wonkiness on the toe, but once it's on my feet, I don't think you'll be able to see. It still has, let's see, a green for sure to go, and like a beige. So I'm not even through the first color repeat of order. I'm knitting this on size zeros and some Addy Turbos. I think they're actually sock rockets. So yeah, that's at least started. And this is going to be like my Portland knitting. I'm going to cast on one other pair of socks for Portland, but that's going to be primarily my Portland, like, sit around and talk to people knitting, and then I have another pair that I'm going to work on that's going to be like my 7-hour plane ride knitting.
Now, explain why you have different pairs for different events, like different situations.
Because I owe someone a pair of socks.
Oh.
And we're going to see her at Portland. I owe A.E. Hull a pair of socks.
Oh, okay.
From SSK. She was one of the winners. And she has a specific pattern that she wants me to do, which is the Skype sock. Mm-hmm. And so I think that'll be perfect plain knitting, because I get bored knitting on plains unless I'm doing something with a pattern. Whereas if I'm sitting around and talking to people, I make a lot of mistakes if I'm knitting something with a pretty serious pattern. Plus, this way, if I get to the point on one where it's like a heel turn and I can't do it, then I can, because I'm talking to people or whatever, I can always pick up the other and work on that. So I like to have two projects to work on. We are doing a yarn shop crawl that Friday, so I'm sure I'll be getting more yarn at that point, too.
Sure that you wouldn't run out either way.
But, yeah, we'll get there. So, yeah, that's it for works in progress for me. What are you working on? Besides weaving and ends.
So I'll show you all that in a minute. Still got my bag full of stuff.
And Leslie's using her cocoa nuts bracelet thing.
Yeah, it's like a magnetic slat bracelet. And so my darning needle is on there, and the scissors are from Fringe Supply, and they're all metal, so they stick to it too.
Oh, that's cool. And you when you buy it, it comes with darning needles and ring markers and like the safety pin type markers and cable needles and all sorts of stuff that'll stick to it, which is super fun. We got ours from House of Yarn. I have a gray one, and Leslie's got an orange one.
So I've got two things on the needles. The first is my March pair of Desert Vista Dye Works socks. And I've just started them. This is about 2 episodes worth of the Great British Bake Off. A Great British Baking Show, whatever it's called. We did watch 3, but I got about an inch into it and realized that my knits and purls were not lining up the way they should. Apparently I don't know how to do ribbing anymore.
You were doing seed stitch instead.
Yeah, sometimes I was doing ribbing. So I ripped it out and restarted. So this is Somebody Loves the Knit Girls.
Yeah, and that's our colorway.
Yep. Red for me and purple for Laura. Because we're easy that way.
We're difficult in so many other ways, though we've got to be easy in some ways.
realized that it's not quite as stretchy as I would like for the cast on.
Ooh.
But it's not for me, so.
Oh, okay.
It's for somebody with skinny feet.
Well, that's good.
So, just started it. I'm using a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is my standard for socks. Nothing special, really. Like I said, I just started, so I don't have a whole lot to show. And then the other project is the, it's called the Meraki, Meraki tank. The link for it is in the show notes, which is on our website, TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. The yarn that I'm using is Plymouth Nettle Grove, and it is a combination of linen, silk, hemp, and cotton. And
nettle.
Yeah.
I think it's got nettle and not hemp.
Maybe you're right. And I think it's also got a little bit of viscose or rayon in it. I don't have the tag, I don't think, in here. No.
So it uses plant fibers.
Yes. And it's a yarn that's got a lot of drape, so it's not meant to be
form-fitting.
Right. It's not gonna spring back into shape. It's sort of more like silk, where it'll
so
drape
it
more
doesn't
than
have
anything.
bounce, but it has lots of drape.
Yes. So I'm knitting this in the second to largest size. Right now it's just a tube. It's a tubular cast on. Well, I did a tubular cast on and realized I had a Mobius about 3 rows in and totally just switched. I did not rip it out. I just rolled it over and kept on going. But it was right at the cast on point that I had done that, so I had the tail to go in and
weave in those
ends.
ends.
Neaten it up a little.
Yeah. Ooh, an itchy nose.
So I'm only about 2.5 inches in right now. An inch and a half of ribbing, and then I just started stockinette, and I have to start doing decreases down for waist shaping, and then increases again out for bust shaping. So this will probably go with me to Portland, because it's, for the most part, it's stockinette, just over and over and over. I'm knitting this on size 6 4.0 4 millimeter needles.
You're knitting that on size 6, and I'm using size 4s on mine.
Oh. And this is a sport.
This is a sport too.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a DK.
Look at the difference in our sports.
Yeah. Yours is thicker.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you, dude. But yeah, I've probably put about 4 hours into this. It is a little bit harder on my hands than a wool is, just because it doesn't have that bounce.
Yep.
It doesn't have any sort of stretch to it. So it is a little harder on my hands, so I can't do it for long periods of time. I have to take breaks, but...
So what socks are perfect for.
Yep. So that's probably what'll go with me to Portland, are the socks and the tank.
Cool. So speaking of Portland, we will not be recording a podcast the 20th of March. We might come back and do something later, but...
Yeah, closer to the middle of the week.
We will take a look and see. Yeah, so finished objects. I'll go first so you can actually finish weaving in your ends.
I'm not going to finish.
Okay. Would you like to
Sure.
go first? Oh.
I've still got like 20 ends to weave in. Because while this shawl uses clasped weft joining,
Yep.
which keeps you from having to weave in ends, apparently I decided it would be better to just leave the ends out at the sides. So I have a lot, and then there's some in the back where I just looped it instead of continuing to go. I don't know why I did that, because that
It's
sort of
very little.
defeats the purpose of...
It's very little ends too. It's not a lot to weave in.
Oh, well, they're knotted, so they're actually longer than that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 4 or
That's not bad.
5 inches. So yeah, it's plenty. So I finished my Eye of Nightingale. It's gigantic. This is just half of it.
That's pretty. Would you like me? So there's the middle of it.
Yeah, there's the middle here.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. So it came out really nice. It does have a halo on it. If you're allergic to mohair, this is not.
You could do it with other yarns.
Yeah, this kit would not be for you because it does have a high mohair content in one of the 2 yarns. But it was very easy. It was just the same 2 rows on and on and on, back and forth, back and forth.
Sometimes Leslie does not like easy.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You get bored sometimes with easy stuff.
This is true.
Which I'm like, garter stitch forever.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I think I was just already looking forward to the next thing, the next kit that I wanted to knit from her. So I got a little impatient with not being finished with it. But I am finished with it now.
Yay! It looks gorgeous too. I really like it.
So,
I like the subtle gradients that happen with it.
Yeah, it's a kit from Infinite Twist. I don't know whether she still has the kits in the shop or not, but she has lots of fantastic kits all the time.
Yeah, they're constantly coming and going pretty quickly.
Yeah, she does new patterns every month, so I really enjoyed knitting it. It will probably be a prize in the future, whether it's on the show or at SSK, I'm not sure. One of the two. But that's it. I don't really have a ton to say about it. It was not difficult at all. The only reason it took so long was because I have a short attention span. And, yeah, that's about it.
Cool. I am done with my Desert Vista socks for February. I finished them in time. These are the Wildflower socks. There are 2 of them. I brought my own sock blockers because I took pictures on them and I was too lazy to take them off. This uses a double gusset at the bottom. Let's see if you can see. Kind of sort of. Let me take it off the blocker.
Hold them flat. So it's by Christy Turtle Pearl 76.
Yeah.
I can't remember her actual name.
So you can see there's a gusset that happens there. There's a gusset that happens up here. It's shiny. I haven't worn them yet. I'm going to take them with us to Portland to wear.
In your carry-on?
Yes, in my carry-on. Yeah, in my carry-on. Where everything is going. So, although we're flying a different airline this time. So, that's exciting. Those are done. I thank you guys for all your suggestions for elastic stretchy cast-ons. I'm totally going to use some of those.
There were like 2 I'd never even heard of.
And Punky sent me one too, which is super exciting. So I am going to do another pair of top-down socks after this month. I'm going to try to switch out top-down and toe-up from like every other month. And I'm trying to do different heel patterns. This month with my new socks, I might do, there's a toe-up version of this. Mm-hmm. And then Wendy Johnson has a gusset on the bottom version too on her website, so I'm gonna do one of those. I haven't decided which yet, but I'm trying to switch up my heels because otherwise it might get a little bit boring plain vanilla socks all the time. It's pretty. I'll let you guys know how these wear with the different heel. Leslie loves this heel a lot. Do you want to elaborate on that?
I've knit a pair out of Rainy Day Yarns, I think.
That's a blast from the past.
Self-striping, and I've knit the double gusset heel on those, and the yarn was a little bit thicker than your typical fingering, but it worked. I like the double gusset heel. It fits really well. It stays on my foot. It doesn't slide down the heel like some of my socks tend to do sometimes. So I like it. It is a little weird to work it for the first time, but I like it. So maybe I'll do that on this pair for the person I'm knitting it for.
Oh, that'd be cool. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I felt like the heel, I think I might have done my heel flap a little bit too long because I cannot let color repeats. Just, yes. I've got it.
It's one of the many, many facets of Weird Laura.
I like things that happen on color changes. So, whatever. So they might be a little bit long. If they don't fit, if they're a little bit too big, because I honestly haven't even tried them on, then they'll go to my sister, who has bigger feet than me. If they're too small, then they'll go to my mother, who's got smaller feet than me. So we keep it in the family. It is very convenient. And Leslie's got feet that are a little bit smaller than, they're the same size as Mama Linneman's. So they could always get put away for her as well. So that is it for me for finished objects. You have spinning and I have spinning. Would you like me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday I came over after Kobe's birthday party and all I had to work on were those socks and I really didn't want to work on those socks, so I stole Leslie's flat iron and and some fiber, which I knew I had in my stash so I could replace it. But this is Into the World. It was an April 2012 club. I was in that club for a long time.
That's probably why you've got it at home.
This is the Serenity colorway. It's like their club's so nice though.
Yeah,
like it's hard,
and it's
like,
very well priced.
Yes. So as I let go at the end, I added a little bit too much twist because I did a victory lap for finishing in time. But this is the Serenity colorway. It's Falkland from Into the Worlds. This is for last month's Patreon winner. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that this week. And then start on this coming month's. Today's Patreon winner. I have some Hello yarn that I just got this month's that I think will be perfect. So
I need to download that
yeah.
sheet.
You need to download that sheet.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
I'll do that as we answer the question, whatever. I didn't look at the question, but...
I'll read the question aloud.
And then I can...
Yeah, I think it works best for both of us because we probably might do two different things. But anyway, so...
I have spinning.
That is what my finished spinning... Well, not finished. My almost finished spinning is. I have a disaster that just happened down here. There's like a tangled mess.
Oh, gosh.
But we'll get there. I think I only have 2 more rows.
Jeez. Every time I turn this over, I find more ends.
Yeah, I just finished 14. I have to
All right, so I actually spun some this week as well. Laura and I are both doing some sort of break testing on the device, which is Abby Frankemont's husband designed the spinning. Well, I guess they did it together. He did the...
Wow, our colors are super similar.
Architectural side of it. Yeah, they are.
Huh.
This is a Wool Gatherings braid. It was a BFL braid.
See, I had to take that braid from you. It was too similar to your other braid.
She does not do colorway names, or she didn't when I bought this, so it doesn't have a colorway name. It was an old, I think I bought it in like 2011 or 2012, so it's been ruminating for a while. So the device uses Majacroft flyers and bobbins. These are Acreworks Majacroft bobbins.
And it comes with 2 bobbins.
Yes, which is a little bit frustrating because that means I have to wind something off in order to ply on the device because I don't have Majacroft, so I don't have any other bobbins that I can use.
But we could get Majacroft. I'm
could,
just saying.
But as of this moment, I do not possess a Majacroft.
But we could.
So I've got to wind off at least one of these so I can ply onto, because I want to use the device to ply as well.
Yeah, you got to run it through all its capabilities.
And I just spun it pretty quick. It'll probably be a worsted or bulky once it's plied and soaked, because it's pretty thick. It's probably a sport single. So it might be a bulky, but that's fine. I don't mind that. I spun it up quickly, so I didn't expect it to be a fingering weight. We'll record a totally separate episode talking about the device.
Yeah, we'll do a review.
Yes. So, that's it. That's all the spinning that I've got.
Cool. We have a question to answer. We're not doing a book review today. We do have a couple of books to review, but we didn't get our act together in time because that's what happens sometimes. Our friend Lowell.
Oh, do you want me to go back to the question? Sorry.
I would. Leslie totally went on Amazon.
Well, I'm trying to get to the Patreon thing. Okay, read the question.
All right, so the question says, this is for both of yuns. You've knitted about 1,000 pair of socks between the 2 of you, and me being a bit of a princess in the pea with hand knit socks. She knits hers, I know Lowell, she's in my local knit group. She actually knits hers so that the stockinette sides on the inside. Would like to know how you weave in the ends of your socks. I'm not so much concerned about the cuff, but the toes and the heels. Do you find along the decrease seem to be the least obtrusive, or up and down the top or bottom of the toe and heel? So I'll go first since you're gonna be doing something. I tend to, when I weave in my socks, I figured this was a good one too. because I tend to weave in my ends on the toe if I have a toe like right along that decrease line right there, because if it is a little bit of a gap because it was happening between two needles, I can tighten that up a little bit. The other, and I can tell, I always get a little bump on the end of my Kitchener stitch, which is part of the reason why I stopped doing a lot of top-down socks, because it bothers me. If I have an end to weave in on a heel, like an afterthought heel, I tend to go down the decrease line on that as well. So I'm a decrease or increase line weaver inner. Do you have a preference that you do?
Let me pull this back up. So I'm going to be super tacky and take off the sock that I'm wearing right now and show you. So these are last month's socks.
Oh, look, you haven't woven in the end.
I have. I just haven't cut it.
You just haven't snipped it.
So
there you go. I could not have chosen a better question.
Yeah. So I usually, I prefer top-down socks just because I find it easier to actually fit to the foot for me. It, like, spatially, it makes better sense for me to do it from the top down. I can estimate better. So when I weave in the ends, I usually run along the decrease and then in from there. I usually go about a half an inch or further, and I just go through, because I wear my socks with the pearls on the inside, which is what most people do. I split the plies of the pearls, so I'll put the needle through the yarn instead of under the yarn. That way it doesn't show on either side. And so I split the ply a little bit and just sort of go diagonally a few times, up and down, up and down. And then for the cuff,
I go along the ribbing line, usually.
I can't even see how I did that one. I did it so well, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. But I usually do the same thing on the, I do it down the ribbing line on the purl side on the inside. Again, I split the plies so that you can't see that woven end on either side if you're looking for it. After you wear it a couple times, it'll kind of smush itself into the yarn and you won't even see it. So,
cool.
Hope that didn't gross anybody out. What else was I doing? Oh, I did the Patreon thing, but it's back there and ready now. So
cool.
So that's a good question. Let me move this a little bit. I Control Plused it for you so you could see.
Oh.
That way I could make you feel old instead of me feeling old.
We didn't update what I'm reading.
We totally didn't.
Fail boat, you go, and then I'm gonna look at my phone as to what I read this week.
Oh, okay.
In my Goodreads.
Well, I'm still listening to the 5th or 6th, based on whether or not you include the Assassin one. The Assassin's Creed or something. Assassin's something. The prequel. Excuse me. To the Throne of Glass series, with Selena Sardouthian / Aelin Galathinius. They really like their L's in there. So I'm I'm listening to the 5th one, which is Empire of Shadows, I think? Empire of Storms, sorry.
Yeah, Empire of Storm.
And I just started reading a book, when I'm looking for a new book, because I subscribe to Kindle Unlimited, which is like $9 something a month, $10 a month. When I'm looking for a new book, I always look on Kindle Unlimited first, because I'm paying for it, so I might as well use it.
Yeah.
And I found one that was considered an epic fantasy, and it's called Dragon of Ash and Stars. And it's, so far as I can tell, it's sort of a coming-of-age tale, but it's from the dragon's point of view.
Okay.
There's no romance whatsoever, at least at this point. But it's in a world where dragons are sort of conscripted as workhorses to one degree or another.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm only about maybe less than a quarter of the way through it, but it's interesting so far. I've actually already told Kobe about it, so once I'm finished with it, I'll have him read it and see what he thinks. But that's it. That's mostly what I'm reading.
So I did not read any YA or middle grade this week. Work was pretty busy. But I did do, I got a book from the library, and that is The Dragon Mark. It's a Sherilyn Kenyon book I've given up on. It's one of her Dark Hunter novels. I've given up on purchasing her books, so I'll get them from the library when they come available. And the same with Cressley Cole, her Immortals After Dark series. Shadow's Seduction, I actually did purchase. I pre-ordered it, but that's going to be the last one that I think I purchased.
So hers are generally like paranormal romance?
Yes, both of those are paranormal romance.
Okay.
So that's what I've been reading. I've started Wind Witch, which is a Witchlands novel by Susan Denyard. It is actually a YA book. And that's the second one in the series. Oop, I did not mean to hit download on that, but now it's downloading on my phone. The first one was really good. So I got that from the library as well. And I actually bought the first one for my library. I just ordered it because it's the end of our year when if you have any money left over in your budget, you spend it. So I had $14 whole left. So that's what I purchased, the first in that series. So anyway, because I have a lot of kids that like the fantasy genre, and I read it and really enjoyed it. So I think I have a couple kids in mind, like my Six of Crows kids. I think will like that one as well, the Susan Denyard book. That's what I've been reading.
I finished the one that I talked about last week, The Weaving Man. And it was really good. It sort of hints at future romances, but it really doesn't go into it. I would say it's pretty kid appropriate, teen appropriate, I guess. Yeah. Although it does have one point that bugs me, in that there are some gay characters in the book, but they are referred to commonly as Nancy's. Nancy boys, and it really irritates me. I mean, I realize that it's a period drama or period fantasy, so it was the time or whatever.
Yeah, but
it still irritates me.
No,
it's not. It's not said with derision, even, or at least with the characters, that are involved. But it still kind of rubs me.
It still has a connotation. Yeah, no.
But otherwise, it's completely. There's nothing inappropriate really about the book. So.
And that was a Kindle Unlimited, right?
Yes. And it's the first in a series, but it's the only one that's out. I didn't know that, or I probably wouldn't have read it yet, because I'm very impatient. But it'll give me a chance to read it again when the next one comes out. I've followed. It was the author's only book.
Oh.
So
That's interesting.
You can follow authors on Amazon.
Yeah, you can.
By going to their page, just clicking on their name for any of the books. And then there's a button where you can click follow, and Amazon will notify you whenever they put out a new book.
Yep.
So I do that for most of the authors that I like. And Goodreads also, I'm a couple months behind on Goodreads, but if you put any book on your shelf that you've read, and the authors come out with a new book, you get an email like once a month that says...
Also, if you have a to-be-read book now, and they offer it for sale... if Amazon has a sale on it, then they'll send you an email as well.
That's cool.
So, Dumpling was $2.99 a couple weeks ago, and they sent me an email saying, hey, you've got Dumpling on your shelf. It's $2.99 on sale on Amazon. And I'm like, but it's in my library. So, no.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they send you emails now for that. And you can follow authors on Goodreads as well, and anytime they do an update.
Yeah, I follow Brandon Sanderson, but all I ever get from him are blog posts. So
yeah, sometimes it's just blog posts.
Anyway,
but yeah,
we like to read. So if you hate this section, sorry.
Fast forward.
I think it's here to stay.
It's okay. You've been doing some quilting.
Yeah, I didn't. It's over there, but I've been working on the Postcards from Sweden quilt, which is not a difficult quilt. It's just a time-consuming one, because you have to keep track of 36 different fabrics. And they're all cut into half square triangles and then sewn together in weird color orders. There's no, it's not a gradient or anything.
There's no rhyme or reason.
No. Or if there is, I don't know what it is.
It comes out very pixelated looking.
It's very cool looking in the end, but it's just a little bit fiddly to keep up with the colors. I actually have a chalk pen that I use, and I write the grid spot for each color on it as I go. Even though
smart.
I like the friction pens, which are pens that the ink will disappear with heat or friction.
Uh-huh.
But then if I press them, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because the iron is hot. I learned that. So now I use chalk for that because it'll wash once you wash the quilt. It'll come out. So the postcards from Sweden has like I think 18 rows. It's like 12 squares by 18 squares, or 16 maybe. And I've only gotten 4 rows put together because each one you have to sew them together in order. And chain piecing is great, except I am not coordinated enough to chain piece and not screw up orders of things and then have to rip them out. I've only had to own the 4 rows of 12, so 48 squares. I only sewed 1.
Good.
So I'm just
I bet you
could
could convince my mother to help you with this when she comes.
Well, it's not difficult. I mean, I probably might take you up on your offer and go with you for Easter and quilt it there. To give it something a little fun.
You'll get to meet my aunt and uncle from Maine.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fun.
I'm sure it will.
And Pearl's going, so you can help me pearl wrangle.
Yes. But that's it. That's mostly what I've been doing quilting wise. I did go to Joann's, and the Simplicity patterns were on sale for $2. So I bought a couple of those. I'm going to try to make a sports bra because I have very difficult time finding a sports bra that is supportive and doesn't try to either kill my breasts or show them to everyone. So I bought this like neoprene-ish style fabric and a pattern, and I'm going to try to make a sports bra.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And I bought a couple of like plain cottons and linens for simple tops I'm going to try.
Cool. Are you going to do another one of the, did you get the materials to do another one of the top that you finished?
I didn't. I wanted to, but it was a little bit of a circus today at Joann's.
Oh, I'm sure, because this is Sunday.
So, yeah. I will, but I just haven't. I need to go back to that shop in Portland that Denise took us to.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Are we doing a meetup Wednesday?
Well, there is one of the ladies that we met at Happy Knits last time is looking at it to see if it's possible at one particular place.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're trying to make it happen. I'm not sure if it'll be successful or not yet.
Okay.
So more details on that next week, hopefully.
Yep. Or we're gonna run out of time. So yeah, definitely. If not, maybe we could just say people can meet up at the Kennedy School, and we can have dinner with people if they want.
I totally did not catch that stitch at all.
No, it's a good thing you saw it now.
Well, I got an end. I can weave right through it though.
That's perfect.
What else?
I think that's it for us. We have a Patreon giveaway to do.
Yes. I did want to briefly speak about Patreon because in January I neglected to get one of the episodes up.
Yeah.
So you were charged, if you're a Patreon subscriber, a genuine thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
If you were a Patreon subscriber, you got charged for 6 episodes in February instead of 4. One, because of the date the first one came out. It didn't actually post until February, so that made 5. And the other, because I neglected to post in January and you only got charged for 2 or 3. I can't remember. It's all legit, I promise. We're not trying to, illegitimately steal your money. But just a note to those of you who... And because I got last week's out in time for February. So it was just sort of a timing thing.
Gotcha.
I think for March we'll only have 3.
Where are your scissors?
Partially because we're not recording the week of Portland, and if we do, it'll be late. So, let's see. Trim. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to do our Patreon drawing.
Yeah.
So do you already have hand spun?
No, I'm gonna spin this last, the fiber that I just got from Hello Yarn yesterday. I'm going to spin that. So that's what's going to happen next. And I can't even tell you what it is because I looked at the bag, but I didn't really see very well. I looked at the colors. I didn't even look to see what fiber it was. So I'm hoping maybe to get that spun before we leave for Portland. That's the end goal.
So from number 20 down to number... I did not pre-sort this, so I'll just have to go by the number 66.
64?
66.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it just didn't have the first name there. So between 20 and 66. And the winner for the hand spun from Laura is number 48, which is going to be, go up, 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 up.
Patricia Hobbs. Yes.
We know her.
We do. She's in Atlanta. Excellent. Well, I'll make sure that this is color/fiber that she likes.
Good. So congratulations to Patricia Hobbs, and thank you for everyone who donates. That's for people who donate at the $3 mark. And this month, because I don't have any yarn handy, but I do have some hand spun handy, I'm going to give away hand spun as well.
Oh, cool.
For the $250 dollar value. So that is from number 68 down to number, go, 126, and 68 to 126. And this will be for the hand spun that I spun on the device.
You have to apply. Excellent.
Yep. So I just have to apply it. It's already spun. So between 68 and 126, the number is 117. And that one is Megan Velagar. I'm going to color that one in so that I do not forget about it. More. There we go. Fill it with yellow. So this is for Megan. And Megan, I will be in touch with you. You live in Seattle, Washington.
Cool.
So I'll get in touch with you, Megan, and just verify your address and get this sent out to you this week before we leave for Portland. I've got a couple of things that are overdue for being sent out. I keep sending Michael addresses for things because Michael is my husband. He does all the shipping for me because he doesn't hate it like I do. So I keep sending him addresses, but I haven't actually given him the things to send. So he's like, I'm going to make you start putting things in a spreadsheet so that I can keep track of things. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do a spreadsheet. You just need to go and do shipping. Stop arguing with me, son.
Oh my.
That's it. That's all I've got. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think anything else. We will be we'll be in Portland from the 15th until the 20th. Mm-hmm. So we will see some of you there. Yay!
Yes, and we'll have a yarn crawl on Friday. We're still finalizing the shops that we're going to. So, and that is included with the cost of the event. So it's a fun little extra we were able to throw in that we weren't sure whether or not it would work, but we think it will.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's the first year, so who knows what's going to happen.
First year is always a little bit more complicated.
Yeah. But we're stoked. We've got final travel details with Hohi and Vera all settled.
Yep.
I'm
going to get this sweater done so
totally.
I can wear it.
You'll be wearing it on the plane. What are you talking about?
Well, not here. But it's supposed to be
It depends
cool.
on what day of the week it is because it's gone
true.
from freezing to high 70s.
Yeah, but planes get I was hoping I had back to Kickstarter with this cool hoodie, and it was supposed to ship the end of January, 1st of February, but the Kickstarter got behind.
Oh.
This is why I don't do Kickstarters, and then I was like, I'm gonna do a Kickstarter, and nope.
Well, at least it hasn't been 3 years, and you're still waiting on stuff.
Well, yeah, that was the last time I did a Kickstarter prior to this. Yeah. So, whatever. It is what it is.
All right, well, I think that's all that we've got for this week. We hope you guys have a lovely week, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.